Hey guys, welcome back to Fun Untitled. It's 2023 and we decided that today we're gonna take it a bit more chill. Less energy, more just talking with you.
Yes, because as far as you know, every episode I've been talking in has been an act, and my real voice is a cool ASMR whisper.
You're ruining the vibes.
I'm sorry. Hi, I'm the vibe ruiner, Annie.
And I'm the fake one, Minty, apparently.
And this is Fun Untitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU.
So we're gonna reintroduce ourselves. It's been like 2 years since we started doing the podcast, and I think it's good to also finally have a trailer video for our YouTube channel and just reintroduce ourselves to new followers, new listeners, the works.
It's also been 1 week since you looked at me, so you probably forgot me at that point.
I wish I knew the lyrics to that song as much as I knew City Escape.
I thought you was gonna say Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
That's a good one too.
Man, City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2, we used to force ourselves to memorize that.
I have on record that I have played City Escape over 400 times in my life. And that's not even counting all of it because it doesn't have all of my memories saved.
What can we say? We needed those unicorns for our chows.
It's also the best way to get money. But anyway, as you can tell, we talk about mostly animes, but we'll put in some video games, Western animated series,
RuPaul's Drag Race.
No, a lot of RuPaul's Drag. Obsessed with that show. Even though kind of boring and redundant, it's also like you'll eventually fall in love with a new queen and just want to see how far they go and then get crushed when they leave at like 5th place.
You can say Denali.
Denali, Ermagerd, Lemon, Pangina.
Oh, shit.
So let's talk about what we like in general, right?
Well, I like to say that my voice is the nasally one, or the one that I've been told sounds like Singapore accent.
Whoa.
I didn't say that. I am not from Singapore. But if you think I sound like an ESL, that's on you.
You know, I don't know how to describe a way to distinguish our voices.
I mean, you listen to us the most as the editor.
Yeah, but I already like you kind of already know, and so it's hard to explain.
Well, I just say, if you think one of them might need some speech therapy, that's Annie. If the other one kind of talks for a really long time and the point never really gets anywhere, that's Minty.
If you hear someone ask questions and never answers them because they don't have much of an opinion, especially when it's on RuPaul's Drag Race, that's Annie.
I was taught at a young age, you do not answer your own questions. If the other person doesn't ask, they don't care. That's what it's like living in an Asian household, okay? You wouldn't know. We don't live together.
Also, the one obsessed with characters who are involved with blue, love, and glasses, Annie.
Okay, we're just going to call each other out. The person obsessed with characters who overachieves or have anger issues, Minty.
Who are badass is
And
Minty.
that too. So let's go more into that what we like. And Minty's gonna set the ground because Annie goes off tangents and can't stay focused.
For full transparency, we've tried to do this video before, but we had to stop in the middle. And then we didn't remember what we did and didn't talk about yet, so we decided to redo it. Because I like to think that Annie has something called word salad, which is an actual professional term, but in this sense for Annie, it's basically they say something, and once she says a word that's connected to a different topic, and no matter how far of a stretch those connections may be, or weak, Annie changes topics to something totally unrelated.
You know, going off that word salad, Annie's pronouns is she, he, they, and I like to throw in the Dolly Parton as my fourth pronoun.
I thought yours is the Tumblr joke of your gender is just whatever's funniest at the moment.
Ah, the Bugs Bunny gender.
That's the Bugs Bunny gender.
Yeah, that's why when he cross-dresses, it's like, oh, okay, I guess for this joke, you have to be a she.
That makes sense, you know? The old Looney Tunes was very funny. Even though there's some caricatures that aren't the greatest.
Oh, yeah, we don't talk about the racist one. We talk about, like, the opera singer one.
Oh, I remember that.
By the way, yo, we're old. We're old as shit. So, like, we're not like you kids on your TikTok and your talk ticks.
And we talk a lot about shonen series, especially Shonen Jump series.
Oh, let's get into that. Alright, Annie's favorite manga and anime because they're completely different. For example, can't stand the Chainsaw Man manga, love the Chainsaw Man anime.
I'm gonna read that manga. Honestly, mostly because I think the girl who takes over Denji's role, she's really hot. You know what's
funny. Her name's Asa real fast. There's a recent chapter of her at an aquarium, and she's like, I'm going to get a boy to fall in love with me. And she spends 30 minutes talking about the sea animals. And the guy's like, can we go? It's like, no, we're going to continue talking, and then you fall in love with me, okay? And everyone's like, oh my god, Asa cannot beat these femcells accusations.
What's a femcell?
A female incel.
Oh.
So I think you'll like her character a lot.
Was it in front of a jellyfish tank?
It was actually. It's funny because you talk about how jellyfish don't have to eat, and like Denji's bored as shit. And it's like, Denji, you should be interested. You also don't eat for a long time. Not by your own volition, but...
Yes, they do eat. What kind of jellyfish are you talking about?
No, she's just saying that they don't have to eat for a long time.
I guess so, because they float.
Because all nerves. So my favorite anime of all time is Spy Family, because I just think the animation's really good. I really like the Japanese voice acting compared to the English. I don't know why. The English just kind of grates me. But meanwhile, Japanese Shinobu tells me, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be daijobu. I'm like, thank you.
Shinobu?
Shinobu voices Yor in Japan.
Oh. You gotta help me with these connections. I'm not gonna know.
Well, who do you think she was? The baby?
Fiona.
And then my favorite manga of all time is Demon Slayer / Kimetsu no Yaiba. I just really like the art style and the plot. It kind of rushed at the end, but I
was gonna say, you weren't the biggest fan of the end of KNY.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of things. I can't just cross them out of contention because of the ending. Or I'll have nothing left. And I'll say it so you don't have to. Hey Annie, the person who draws all these thumbnails, they all look very similar to style. What could it be? And I'll say this. I did have a obsession with fairy tales.
An obsession?
Was that word too weak?
Yeah, I would say almost like a drug addiction.
I was a fairy tale fanatic.
You had withdrawals when you didn't draw fairy tale.
I did. But I moved on.
Well,
from fairy tale.
So you don't look at 100-year quest.
I'm only looking for the Juvia crumbs and the very poorly done Gruvia scenes.
You know, recently I've seen, because I was just looking through our old files, you redrew a manga page of Juvia and Grey, and then you redid your drawing. I don't know the timestamp between the two. It was an amazing improvement.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. When Juvia was first introduced in chapter, I think 53, Flowers That Bloom in the Rain.
You hear that obsession? She knows the numbers.
It's either 53 or 54, because I think it makes me upset that's not 53, because that's our bus number.
Oh yeah.
Don't find my house. That's between you and us.
To be fair, you still gotta walk a distance after you get off the bus.
So what's your favorite manga and anime that's clearly gonna be in the shonen genre?
Oh yeah. I will say, I'm not usually swayed by good animation, because there's been some great animations, right? Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Spy X Family. So I'm more like traditional. I still say that my favorite anime is Naruto. I just love the story, love the characters, the themes, the motifs.
Naruto or Naruto and Naruto Shippuden?
I will say Naruto only because I haven't finished watching the Naruto Shippuden anime, because I want to rewatch it from beginning to end, which is 700 episodes, which is a bit daunting. But I read the manga, obviously, and I love the story. I do still have to read the side stories. I do still have to watch Boruto, which has been a hit and miss with people, so I was like, eh. But when it comes to manga, I have found a new one that has caught my interest, and that is Sakamoto Days. God, I need it to be animated. I need that series to get the love and attention that Spy X Family got. Because if you think about it, when we started this podcast, Spy X Family was not on the radar.
It was not. Like, it was I could tell reading Spy Family that was a hidden gem, you know? Like, as soon as it became mainstream, it would light up like wildfire.
Oh yeah, I was not expecting this kind of animation.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this kind of animation. Like, I know Kaiju number 8 is a great manga, but even when it gets an anime, I don't think it's gonna blow up. Unless it gets like Jujutsu Kaisen animation.
Unless they skip the first season.
Oh boy, it's a slow start.
Yeah. I mean, where it is now, I think is much better, but they've kind of changed the scenery.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, good move here.
I mean, Sakamoto Days, if you think about it, is like everything you look for in a manga. There's a lot of action scenes are badass.
It's fucking hilarious, and the couple is so cute.
I don't know why. This is Minty lore. Minty did not care for Naruto x Hinata as a child and was a giant Naruto x Sakura fan. So when that didn't become canon, it ruined Minty as a shipper. I'll be like, oh, do you have any ships? And you're like, oh, I can't. The disappointment.
I rarely have hardcore ship, and I now just multi-ship.
I multi-ship too a lot, except when it comes to the main couple I like.
I feel like it's because you're asexual and you like to just bounce around ideas.
It's so fucking hard to be asexual and a shipper, y'all. I'm not saying it can't be done, but sometimes you're like, yes, these two people, they're so close, they can't live without each other. And other people be like, I love your platonic art. It's like, okay, I'm sorry they're not kissing, okay? God. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen my art tagged with just, oh, cute, they're such good friends. Like, are you serious? This is out of spite, isn't it?
To be fair though, you draw a lot of Groovia and more recently Kuzu Peko from Danganronpa art. They're not the most romantic, and suddenly you draw a comic with the intention of being romantic and it ends up wholly not being the most romantic. Like, it's not explicitly shoujo be romantic.
Well, yeah. The guys on Sunday, they wouldn't be PDA. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, a lot of couples anime like there's a weird power dynamic.
How rude.
But until Sakamoto Days gets animated, let's talk about like some of the current things we're watching. We're not the most up-to-date people. That's why if you notice a lot of our episodes, it's either a weekly reaction or we'll talk about series that we've seen kind of a while ago. We're trying to be more up-to-date, but we're changing a habit of 2 decades.
So, because we still have to watch Golden Kamuy season either 3 or 4, the newest one.
My Academia starting from season 4 and on, Black Clover, The Spade Kingdom, KNY season 2, and 3 if it's already out or not.
Are we watching the Rengoku thing?
No, we've seen the movie already.
Okay, because they had like some extra scenes, but like nothing that really care about unless you really like when Goku talking to random Smuk 5.
I personally think the KNY movie is good to watch the first time. It's not a movie you necessarily rewatch.
How dare you say that about the 3D train?
It's a good movie. Like, to me, a movie I could rewatch like every year is Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Off tangent, my coworker's like, oh, you
This is
don't
what I mean about word salad, by the way.
you don't rewatch a movie? And I'm like, no, not really, because like I get bored with a movie if I know what's gonna happen and I have a pretty good memory. And they're like, oh, then you probably don't have ADHD then. And I'm like, giant jump. The biggest Laffy Taffy stretch. But okay. My
Yeah.
coworkers piss me off.
ADHD is not about memory, it's about attention.
Yeah, and if I'm watching old media again and I'm not stimulated, then I don't care.
I wish I rewatched media a lot.
I wish I watched anything other than Game Grumps a lot.
Yeah, I wish you'd watch more sitcoms. I want to do sitcom more episodes.
What would we talk about?
I don't know, like The Office.
So, yeah, those are the animes we have to watch. The animes we are watching or just watched. Like, we're currently watching Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Which is over at this point.
I mean, even the manga's over, but they get a movie. That's what something the community never had. 3 seasons of a movie.
You're funny.
Thank you.
No one knows that joke. The Venn diagram of Fun Untitled listeners and those who know that reference, it's just you in the middle.
Well, obviously, I'm making Minty watch Chainsaw Man. Are you gonna read the manga after the anime's done? But you're like, for its season?
I don't know. It's like low priority.
Alright. What are you reading right now? I know you was reading Elusive Samurai
I am reading that one.
by the creators of Assassination Classroom, right?
Yeah, that one's actually pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna be a big hit. It's definitely not better than Assassination Classroom. That one almost made me want to cry at the end. It's one of the only animes that I was like in excruciating pain when it ended. I want to rewatch that series. That series is so good.
Clima's hot.
Yeah, especially when I get to the 3rd season. Oh man, the series is off the charts.
Who's your favorite character, Clima or the blue hair boy, Nagisa?
I like Nagisa.
I figured.
It's one of the only series where I actually like the main character over everyone else.
I don't know why Minty does not like fuckboys. Like, if that character is popular on Tumblr.com, that would not be Minty's favorite.
But I'm not purposely trying to be like
No,
against
no,
it. Like,
yeah.
I like Reagan.
We gotta watch Mob Psycho season 3, even if I think Crunchyroll fucked over the dub actor.
Really?
Yeah.
So that one has a good dub.
Yeah, it sucks because I'm gonna listen to the dub because Reagan sounds hot.
Yeah.
I think Reagan's actor like plays a lot of hot characters. Like he plays Gojo on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh.
And there's this other dude where I found him extremely hot, but it was an anime that wasn't like, oh, you know what it was? It was the weird sword guy in Shaman King. The spirit that doesn't really do anything that's partnered up with Yo.
Oh, okay. Sure.
He did not do anything in Shaman King. I don't know if he does anything later, but he really is just a bop.
That's another series. We gotta continue watching.
Hell no, I'm not watching Shaman King. Shaman King, the reboot, yo. I don't know if the original is better, but the reboot sucks.
I mean, I think it's like Beyblade. It's a series for literal kids. Shut up.
up.
Still, no dancing to the Beyblade theme
I'm
song.
gonna make that into a TikTok that you kids can copy and paste.
I want to watch Blue Lock. I'm really into sports series.
Oh yeah, we should have said that. Minty, watch a shit ton of sports anime. Baseball, rugby, sumo, volleyball.
Haikyuu's obviously the best one. Kuroko basketball is super good. I mean, Annie likes it, so that's gotta say something about it.
I think I just like it better than Haikyuu. It's not better than Haikyuu, but I just like it better than Haikyuu because all the characters have like the specific traits that they're good at basketball, and it helps me remember the character. Meanwhile, in Haikyuu, I'm like, oh, he's a really good setter. I can't wait for the next round where like we meet an even better setter.
I am trying to read Chihara Fuyu because I really like the couples, but it's such a shoujo manga. It's a little harder to read. You know what I mean?
Oh, you got it. I'm gonna make you fucking watch Fruit Basket if you want to talk about shoujo manga.
I will watch Fruit Basket. Man, you know, right now our High Dive subscription is about to expire and then Nana's on it. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch Nana because it's super popular, right? Read a synopsis. Very depressing. It's on hiatus. Not gonna watch it.
The dubbing's on hiatus or the manga?
No, the manga.
It's still going?
It's like from 2000 to 2009 and then hiatus.
Holy shit, it's not coming back.
Hey, you know, we say that about Hunter x Hunter.
We gotta watch the Haikyuu and High Dive.
It's not on High Dive anymore.
Oh, you shitting me.
We see the first 2 seasons, so we haven't seen the 3rd season, which has one of the better matches. Okay, Seijo versus Karasuno is actually my favorite match of all the Haikyuu ones, but versus Shiratorizawa was good too. And then, of course, Nekoma. But anyways,
I convinced my worker that, what's his name? Kenma actually had a knife at the volleyball fight, and she read the entire manga. Well, she read the other manga except for the epilogue where they were,
That's like the best part.
she didn't know it still kept going, but she doesn't have a good memory, so I was able to trick her that Kenma had a knife.
That's a very iconic scene of the manga. I feel like when Hinata and Kenma face off, it's like the match you've been waiting for a century. You know, like when you've been waiting forever for Goku and Vegeta to go against each other? It's like kind of like that.
Oh yeah, you Mad Lad Minty read all of Dragon Ball Super in like, I think a month?
I think it took me longer, but because we've seen Dragon Ball Bridge so much, I read all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in print, and then I read Dragon Ball Super online.
I ruined Minty, y'all, with a bridge because we're like, I remember we were talking about Danganronpa, and Minty was like, oh yeah, I remember this plot point, and then completely perfectly state the plot point that was in the bridge and not the legit. And I was like, oh, you poor sweet summer child.
For Danganronpa?
Yeah, for case 2. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, you know, we were going from anime we were watching, and then we just started this word vomiting all the manga that we're reading.
This is what it's like every day in my life. Can't get a straight answer from Annie.
That's your problem for asking for something straight. You knew this joke was coming. I make it all the time.
Oh my god. What else am I reading?
Real fast, Joe. I'm begging. If you see my art and you have to take one thing from it, not that it's cute, but I hope to God you look at it and say, there's no way a straight person drew this.
Oh yeah, I want to do more fan arts. Originally we were doing like fan weeks, but I feel like as the years gone by, there's just been less and less events that I've been interested in. So we went back to Annie's roots, which is kind of doing like chapter or episode reaction.
I mean, that's how I got like over 20,000 followers when I did Fairy Tail Chapter Reacts.
That's right. One of the big 2023 goals I have for FunUntitled is to start the Tumblr.
Oh yeah, since Twitter's burning to the ground.
And Instagram's owned by Meta, which is, you know, imploding on itself. And who knows if TikTok's gonna get banned.
I love the fact Tumblr is like the shittiest site, but it's like the one winning. Fun fact, Tumblr, it had this thing where like you could buy a blue check mark to make fun of Twitter.
Oh god.
But then they go around being like, hey, we're gonna ask artists to draw art for Tumblr, but they'll only be paid exposure. We're not gonna pay you in money. And I'm like, Tumblr, you're making money when you have none to share?
That's bad practice.
It is. Especially since so many artists use Tumblr because they have the best tagging system.
I feel like only really desperate people are gonna take it and then not get that much of a boost.
I feel like, yeah, young artists are definitely gonna fall for it. Because, no offense, there's very few times, if any, I saw like a post promoted by Tumblr and thought, oh wow, that artist's really good. I gotta go find more out.
That's true. Even if they're really cute, it's kind of like, oh, you're sponsored by Tumblr, then you're not really targeted towards me.
Yeah.
That's kind of obvious because I'm not really interested in the art anyways. I swear I've seen this like cute frog for like ever.
Oh my god, it would not leave me.
With the pink background?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You know, I would like to do more fan art and stuff. My only problem is it kind of blows to the ego because I feel like people like my art for the idea, but not the art itself. So I could make like a really pretty picture of a popular anime character, but unless I make him say something funny like, we like Fortnite, then like it's not gonna get much views.
Not necessarily a bad thing though.
It's not a bad thing, like that is one thing that helps me stand out from the crowd, is that I know the stupid shit, but at the same time, like, oh, okay, so I guess my art isn't strong enough to stand by its own. Like, I could never just post a sketch and I'll get like hundreds of likes.
You say that, but I feel like you're critical. How many times have you said, why did this post get so many likes when it was just a stupid sketch?
Well, because that's a comic still.
Oh.
If I drew a picture, let's just say like Jester or Molly, I wouldn't get anything. But if I draw them like saying something from the Critical Role show, I'll get a lot. A social media game, y'all. That's what also you get from FunUntitled, by the way. Meta commentary.
Because nobody's doing that.
No one in the entire world. Did you know those YouTube videos where like they give you therapy advice? And I'm like, I would never get that from a YouTube video. I'll never get that from a Twitch streamer.
Hey, what if that's all you can afford?
I guess. Moving on, you know, I said Twitch, and of course the number one thing you think of Twitch is, other than the hot tub gaming, is that what they did in there?
Oh yeah, or like, wasn't one girl wearing a horse mask and hitting it against the mic?
Maybe. Let's talk about our Let's Play channel. We've been playing a lot of Mario Party and Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Yeah, that's just something we do because we've been watching Game Grumps since like 2014.
Oh boy, I know definitely during the Fire Red playthroughs, and Dan's been on it for 1 year.
Yeah, and I know they just started Bloodborne, but then that like stretched out to like watching Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Game Theory, GT Live.
Oh my god, Game Grumps is a gateway drug. That would be a cool name for a podcast, gateway drug.
That would be actually, but it also doesn't really say what it's about.
It could be like a premise for like, you know, like the Try Guys, where like they keep trying new things and like this is the gateway drug to start new stuff.
Huh, you know, that'd be actually kind of cool.
And I heard that the Try Guys is like, you know.
Oh my god.
No.
That should have been our name. Because actually, FunUntitled, we picked the name because we didn't want to pick anything too anime weeby, because we knew we weren't going to talk about just anime, and we didn't want to be pigeonholed into talking about one subject. We just kind of wanted to do whatever we wanted. So we picked something more generic like FunUntitled, which is a name we thought about a long time ago. So you'll find a DeviantArt account with that name. I think I put like random shit. Some of my fake mons are there.
Holy shit, you made fake mons?
That's actually really fun. I kind of want to go back to that, but I feel like fake mon is only popular if you can make art that looks like Pokemon art.
Yeah.
Like, your idea can be really shitty, and I've seen shitty ideas. But hey, if you can do it, you know. And now that like triple types, Chaldean forms, Convergent forms, that I actually really think is cool, is now popular. It's like all those Pokemon groups on DeviantArt, it's like their shit's coming true.
Yeah, as you notice that we're kind of Pokemon fans. Looks at my Pokemon thumbnails I spent too long on. And, you know, goal for 2023, Minty really wants to do this, is to do a Heart Gold Soul Silver playthrough where we play together. Would it be like a Nuzlocke or a friend lock?
I don't think I would make it a friend lock, but maybe a Nuzlocke.
Okay. Friend lock, if you don't know, it's basically the rules on a Nuzlocke. Oh, what's a Nuzlocke, you say? Well, you see, Nuzlocke is that basically you can only catch a certain number of Pokemon. I won't go into full details. And then if your Pokemon dies, it's dead. You leave it in the box forever or you release it.
If it dies in the game, it dies in real life.
And a friend lock is basically you and your friend, you have Pokemon connected to each other. And if my Pokemon dies, then Minty has to consider that Pokemon dead too.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Too hard, right?
Yeah, but Nuzlocke is cool.
I did a Nuzlocke of Ultra Sun and Moon and I ran a little bit too fast to the point where they all died except one Zora. And I was like, alright, I'm done.
That's the thing with Nuzlocke, it's like the beginning part is hard.
It's hard. You gotta grind a little.
Oh yeah, those who don't like have the no grinding rule, insane.
So yeah, so that's the big goal 2023. And then after Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Lord help me if that ever finished.
Oh my god, we're like a little bit past halfway through.
Our next big game would be Danganronpa V3, unless the Game Grumps plays it. Then we're just gonna watch them. And then I'm just gonna shake my head because sometimes people who are too negative gets on my nerves. Minty.
Oh man.
No, actually, I think I would be the cynic of the two.
Yeah, I'm usually not very critical about things. I'm like going with the vibes, and if something really jumps at me, then it's probably really obvious. I will say our style from like when we started this podcast has changed from the style that we do now. I think back then we were really trying to be experts who remembered every detail, who was reviewing and giving like, you know, reviews and critiques about it. But I think now we kind of just go with vibes. I mean, we still go with a basic summary. So that way you kind of know what we're talking about. And you know, it's just been more fun. fun. It's just been more lax. And honestly, if you really want to see the show, you go and see the show.
Alright, and with that, I have a paper cut that I made really bad. I just exacerbated when I flossed because like the floss string kept going in the paper cut, and I was like, Lord, help me, find me the wisdom to stop doing this. But I didn't. And so I'm gonna have to tend to this finger.
We're gonna amputate it.
So here's looking forward to the year of the bunny. Let's do it like bunnies.
Hop away.